Good afternoon, happy stampers. How is everybody? Welcome, welcome. Say hi as you come in. I'm Judy Anderson from judystamps.com. And this week we are, so this week we are sharing ideas out of our celebration catalog. And the product we're using is our Darling Donkeys stamp set. This, I am predicting, is going to be a very popular stamp set from our celebration. It's one that you can earn free with $50 purchase starting January 4th. So this year, celebration is only going to be 2 months, January and February, but they're doing a second celebration later in the year for another 2 months. We get a bonus month of celebration 2 different times this year. So, hello Pat, how are you? Glad you came in today. So, Diane shared a really cute idea yesterday, and I got some emails and some texts from some of you saying, Judy, didn't you do this idea that Diane shared, but it was a little bit different and with the moose bundle? And I said, yeah, I did, and I promised that I would show that card on here. So this is the card because a couple of you wanted to make it with the moose, and I made it very simple. And you guys can do this with really any stamp set, and how it pulls out here and says Merry Christmas. I did do mine as a full card, and it opened up like this, but you could do it with just this part and just put a piece of Whisper White on the back and put your sentiment and sign it there. So thanks, Diane, again for bringing that idea yesterday and bringing up some people's memories that, I thought I saw that card before. Some of you did, and some of you haven't seen that layout before. But if you want to, again, see how I made the Merry Christmas card, I have a YouTube video, and just look up Judy Stamps on YouTube. Okay, so I'm going to be bringing you an idea today. I am using the Darling Donkeys stamp set and then some items out of our annual catalog. I'm using the Brights Designer Series pack and the, now I'm going to forget the name of it, and I don't know why I am forgetting it. The Flowers for Every Season Designer Series paper. I am also using another new product that you're going to find in the new mini, and that's our blending brushes. So I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek of those. I'm not getting into it a whole lot, but this is going to be something you guys are going to want. And I'll highlight this here on Thursday under my tooltips. Okay, so I'm going to switch you guys around and get started here. Oops, you're looking at the ceiling. Oh no. Almost lost you. To flip you around. There we go. Okay. I can't get too close to my buttons because I keep turning you guys off. So I'm going to move this up. Adjust this just a little bit so you see more of my stamping area. Okay, so here are all the pieces we're going to be using. I have a piece of mint macaron, which measures 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4, and we're going to go ahead and fold that on the score line and grab my bone folder, and let's burnish that right away. Okay, our next piece is a piece of Whisper White, which measures 4 by 5 1/4. Then I have a piece of the Brights Designer Series paper pack, and this measures 3 by 5. And then I have a strip of the, I cannot believe that I'm blocking this name out, the Flowers for Every Season Designer Series paper. This measures 3/4 inch by 5 inches, and we are going to go ahead and put those onto our card front. And I am going to adhere the smaller piece first, Okay. Oh, how many times do we have troubles with this? I should have tested it before. Oh, there we go. Just was gooped up a little bit on the end. So we're going to go ahead and put that along the edge here. Just building our mats and our layers for our card. Okay, whoops, make sure it's straight. Give it a good press. Now you could use either side. If you want this card to be more bright and more pattern, which I would have a tendency of doing, I would use this side, but we're going to use this side today. After I said that, just because I am going to be using one of our vellum square doilies, and I want that to show up, and with the polka dots it doesn't quite show up as much. Okay, so we're just going to butt that right up there and adhere that. Then, like I said, I have a square doily, and it's a square vellum doily, and I cut it in half diagonally. And we're going to be placing that on there in just a minute. I have another piece of mint macaron, and this measures 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. Then I have a piece of Whisper White. This measures 4 3/4 lengthwise by 4 inches tall, and I've scored it at 2 1/8. Now you're going to notice when I fold this that it's not exactly in half. Okay, so that's going to fit on here. We're going to take this strip of Designer Series paper, which measures 3/4 of an inch again by 4 inches long, and we're going to go ahead and put that right along this edge here. This is a really quick card, and you may not think of using this paper with the donkeys, but this donkey reminds me of Eeyore, especially this image. I don't know why, but it just does. Okay, now we're going to take on the front of this, and that's why I put the Designer Series paper on first, so that we remembered which was the front. I am going to grab my blending brush and just a scrap piece of graph that I've taken from my Stamparatus, and we are taking Magenta Madness. And on the front, we are just going to blend out some color. Now when you use this, you're just going to dab it in here into your ink, and it doesn't take much. You're going to start out on a scrap piece of paper so you don't get that blotchiness. And I know that I'm going to want the darker and going out to lighter. And I'm just going to do it in a circular motion, moving up the paper and down the paper. And I don't want to cover the entire piece. I just want to give it a little bit of shadow here. And I'm just kind of a medium touch, and see how nice and light and that blends out. It's the same concept as our sponge daubers, but you get a much softer look. I want just a little bit color. See how much that blobs on there? And I don't want that on my paper. So always go off your paper first. Okay, so we have that little blended color. And you're going to see why we've got that blended like that in a second. I'm going to close this up, and I am going to grab a scrap piece of Whisper White. Let's move this all out of the way. I have my donkey, and I grab the donkey holding the rose. And I'm going to stamp him in gray granite. Stamp him right on here. And I can stamp it with gray granite because we're going to be coloring with our Stampin' Blends. So we want a water base to stamp the image. And we're going to start with our light gray granite. And we're going to color our donkey with that. And just going around the edges a little bit. I'm going to do a snoot the same color. I'm not coloring the inside there because I want that lighter. And I'm doing this in a circular motion this time. You could do the dab and stroke method if you want. I want it to kind of look like he's kind of furry, so I'm not coloring him all the way in. Now I'm going to take my dark gray granite and I'm going to color in where I want my dark areas to be. And it's the shadows. So just go around where you want the shadows. Now you're going to notice I didn't do his bottom lip yet. We're going to do his hoofs the darker color, leaving a little bit of highlight. Now with his legs here, this is to the back and this is going to have a little bit of shadow there. And that's all the shadowing I'm doing. Now I'm going to take my gray granite light again, and with my brush tip I am going to take and color and do the strokes. Okay, coloring completely over and blending out the dark and blending over those spots that I missed. And what that's going to do is that's going to make those highlighted areas, because we didn't color that, so we don't have another layer of ink. And then just on his bottom lip, just a little bit, very lightly. Okay, now I have my light petal pink, and we're going to color inside his ears. This little guy, these guys are really, really quick and easy to color. Now I have my light magenta madness, and I'm going to color his hair that color because this is a fun donkey. He's kind of on trend, kind of funky. We're going to color the rose the same, leaving a little bit of white in the middle, and then his tail. Okay, so we've got that. Now I'm going to take my color lifter, and I want to make the top of his nose just a little bit lighter, so I'm going across there along the center of his face and the center of his belly. And you're not going to see it happen right away. His bottom lip. Okay, now I'm also going to go over this rose a little bit, just that one petal on top, because I want that to be lighter, and that's going to blend out that white spot. And I'm just going to do a couple streaks in his tail because I don't want it so solid. He is colored, you guys. That's all that's to him. I'm going to grab my paper snips, and we're going to cut them out. Okay, just leaving a slight border, and I forgot to color something. I forgot to color the leaf and the stem of the rose. I've got my light mint macaron here, pulling the color of the card base. Now the card base you could really do in any color. I was thinking of doing it Poppy Parade because that's one of the colors in the Flowers for Every Season paper, and it'd be really bright and fun then. And I thought, you know what, I want to make it a little bit subtle looking, so that's why I picked the mint macaron. So you can let me cut this guy out a little bit. I got way too much paper around him. Change the mood of the card by changing the color of the base. And don't forget, you guys, you know, you've got designer series paper. There's some new gorgeous designer series paper coming out in the new catalog, and even in the celebration catalog we've got some papers coming out. So, you know, use your imagination with these guys. Don't be so serious with them. They're kind of fun and funky, you know, little donkeys. You could do the same ideas I'm doing and color him light pink or light blue for a baby card. I wouldn't necessarily use this guy, but you could for a baby card. I think I would use the one sitting down or kind of doing the bucking motion, you know, kicking up his heels to celebrate the baby is born, or even for a birthday card. This set even has some really cute verses in it. We're going to be using the Hey There Friend today, but they have Hee Haw and You're the Best. It's your birthday in here. And, you know, you can pair it up with any of the verse cards that you have, or sentiment sets. Now you can choose to cut between his legs if you want, or like I'm doing, just cut right around those two. I cut one previously and went in between those, but then decided, you know what, you really don't have to. it doesn't really change the look a whole lot. So there we go. Isn't he cute? Okay, so we're going to assemble our card. We're going to go ahead and adhere this to our card front. Whoops. Well, hi Pat, and hi Chris. How are you? Hey Pam, glad you could make it today. So happy to see you guys are on here. Now, Diane did mention that our Whisper White is going to be retiring. I did not put out an email yet. It seems that the mill that produces our Whisper White has closed down due to COVID. And Stampin' Up! Has been working on finding a replacement for it, and they have announced that they did. We are going to place our little doily, and I'm only gluing the edge that's going to be hidden underneath the card. So they are going to be coming out with basic white, and they said although it's not going to have that smooth coating on it because that was exclusive to that mill, but they found something that's going to be close. Now you can choose to put this here or all the way to the edge. I'm going to put it all the way to the edge because I want it to show a little bit more. And this is just a very subtle layer to your card. So if you're loving our Whisper White, I would urge that you go in and purchase some more. Personally, I am not. I'm going to wait for the basic white, because I have confidence in Stampin' Up! And that they have found a replacement that is very comparable to what we currently have. And our envelopes are going to be changing, and our note cards and envelopes, and it just pertains to the Whisper White, you guys. It doesn't pertain to the vanilla, which I find interesting because our vanilla got that same smooth coating. Okay, so I just put that layer on there. Let me close up my glue there. And we're going to put on some dimensionals because we want this guy standing out. So I'm going to put some on his ears. So if you have any other questions about the Whisper White, give me shoot me a text, shoot me an email, whatever. It's kind of crazy because several of you took advantage of our sale, and that sale is still going on, you guys. I don't think anything on the sale has sold out. We have some that are low inventory, but we do have several items on the clearance rack that sold out right away, as they usually do. And as you know, once those items are gone, they're gone. Let's put one. I'm just going to snip a little piece and put it on the rose. So I think a whole one might be just a little bit too big for that. So take a look once again, and I want to thank all of you that did make a purchase, or some of you made several purchases last week. You know who you are. I'm not going to call you out here. And don't forget, if you want to participate in my virtual open house, you need to RSVP and send me the fee for it. I am putting those packets together today and going to get them mailed out. And I'm going to mail them out tomorrow. And I think that if I don't mail them out tomorrow, they may not get there till after the event. It's actually going to be on December 27th. Those of you that get my newsletter, you know that. So I am just going to put "Hey there, friend" on the front. Right there. Let's hope I get it. Oh, I blotched it up. I pressed too hard. I usually do it flat. I'll take care of that. I'm going to probably cut another little flower. Let's do that right now while I'm thinking of it. So I am just going to stamp a little flower. just like that. Let's go ahead and color it. And then I'm gonna do the leaf too, and part of the stem. Oh, it's another opportunity for me to get creative. You know, we often chuckle. We all make those opportunities, don't we? They're not mistakes because they're just opportunities for you to be more creative in your stamping. So, here we go. And I am also going to be starting some online classes in January. So if you are in my newsletter, you will get notification of that. I will post it on here also. And I think we're going to have some fun. I'm waiting to post it because I had planned on doing one of the stamp sets in the new mini catalog. And the dies weren't in yet because the ship had some difficulties. But they have arrived, so I want to make sure that it arrives in time so I can do a sample for you. Okay, so here's that opportunity. We're just going to put that flower right there, and it looks like it was supposed to be there the whole time. Now I'm going to leave the inside blank because I can do happy birthday, hey there friend, missing you. But then we have the inside. So this is a double card. Isn't this great? I am going to go ahead and, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it a birthday card. So we're going to go ahead and stamp this bucking donkey. You get it out. What the heck? We have time, right? We all enjoy spending this time together. Though you guys are a little quiet today. What are you guys working on today? Pat, are you at work? We are going to stamp him right here. Just like that. I'm going to grab the happy birthday. It's your birthday. Get my smaller block here. Stamp him just like that. Isn't it cute? Okay, we're going to color him too. So let's get coloring. So let me know what you guys are up to today. You know, are you baking? You know, Christmas is only a week away. It's hard to believe. I told my husband that. He goes, "No, it's only the 14th." I says, yesterday. I says, "Yeah." I says, 11 days, it's going to be Christmas, dear. He says, "Holy cow, it seems like it's forever." Especially since we haven't really had snow. Have you guys had a lot of snow where you're at? Let us know. Okay, so that's the light. Let's grab the dark. Do those hooves and a little bit of shading here. Now we're going to do pink hair again. I'm just going to do a little bit right down here. Take this and blend that all out. Just going over. And I'm coloring on the side of the brush, you guys. I'm not coloring on the tip, except on the legs where I press a little bit harder. Shade this just a little bit. I forgot 2 hooves. How many are you telling me that? I'm not looking at the screen. Oh, so who's doing laundry? I can't see. Somebody's folding laundry. And Christine commented, "Oh, fun laundry." I almost said, "Oh, Chris, you're doing laundry?" And Pam's knitting. Oh, awesome. You're finishing. I love handmade gifts. My mom used to knit us gifts for our birthdays and for Christmas. And my grandmother, both my grandmothers, my one grandmother knitted and crocheted. My grandmother, my mom's mom, only knitted, and she German knit. And don't ask me what the difference is. Pam, do you know what the difference is between German knitting and regular knitting? It has something to do with how she yarns over or something, I know. Just going to add a couple of highlights here to him, and I just noticed I missed a little bit of his mane here. They've got a little bit of hair right there on this one. Okay, let's take the light gray granite, and we're just going to do a little bit of ground below them, just like that. Okay, so there's plenty of room for you to still write in your card. And my mom would knit a cross between German knit and American knitting, I guess you call it, or English knitting. And she tried to teach me a couple times, and I can't knit. I can crochet. I love to crochet. My other grandmother showed me how to crochet. And she knit, and when she got in her older years and her hands bothered her, she got a bunch of knitting machines. And when she passed, I had to get rid of those. I would have kept them if I knew how to use them, but I opted not to. So here is this cute, fun little card. Hey there, friend. And then you could put a little note in here for a lunch date, and then it's your birthday. So I know you guys are going to want these little darling donkeys. They're going to be coming to you in just a couple weeks now. And if you want some more information about my open house and don't receive my newsletter, let me know. Shoot me a private message, okay, so we don't block this all up on here. And I will bring some more ideas to you later this week. So let me see. So Pat says that she had record-breaking snow in October, but there's only a dusting on the ground. Pat, you're up in Minnesota, right? But it's nice that it all left, right? We all like it when the snow goes away. We love I think snow is beautiful when it first falls, but I hate in the area that I'm in Illinois, I hate that we know if it snows one day, the next day we're going to have a bitter cold, and I don't like what comes after the snow. And Pam can't crochet. Okay, Pat, that's what I thought. I thought you were in Minnesota. So, well, Pam, you knit, I'll crochet, okay? In fact, I am my 7-year-old granddaughter bought this kit. Her and her mom thought that they could crochet this Anna and Elsa dolls. It was a kit for kids to crochet. And I will tell you, it was the real thin, almost baby yarn. That's how thin it was, and a small crochet hook. And I started it, and I don't even know what happened to that kit, but I told her I'd finish it, but I am going to start teaching her how to do just a basic crochet and have her make her own scarf. So, okay, so it makes, okay, Chris just makes cards. No knit, no crochet, but Chris, you bake, and you're an awesome baker. So, thanks for joining me today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, everybody, happy stamping!